Hey everyone, it's the Sith Justice Warriors coming at you with our reaction on the Night City Wire, episode 2 of Cyberpunk 2077 with Lumpia.
Hey, I'm so excited. We get to
Eh,
talk about Cyberpunk.
Yeah, so I figured we'll just do reactions because I think it was a pretty neat how it was like about a 25-30 minute short episode, kind of more or less detailing a bit of the story, how you could choose between three origins, whether you're a corporate slave, you're a tough from the street kid, street kid is what they call it, and the nomad, which kind of gave me some vibes of, honestly, it kind of gave me that
Mad
I think
Max.
no, Vin Diesel with the whole Fast and Furious family. They're like, I live my life
Uh,
quarter mile at a time.
I got the vibes of like Mad Max. Like when they say nomad, I was like Mad Max Thunder Road kind of situation. But yeah, that actually I can see why you said that.
He's like my familia, like the family. I'm like, my familia. Anyway, then we went into the music. Had a little
Which
bit.
was really interesting because I didn't the attention to detail that they really tried to put into this game, like from that to the music, I am a little disappointed because I thought Keanu had a band. So like they could have paid a little bit to have him sing. But
We'll get to that, and then finally they talked about the guns. So let's deep dive and look
oh
at.
my
You
god,
have
the
a
weapons.
lot. You have
Yeah,
a lot.
we have a lot to cover, but those
So
are
go
the three
ahead,
buckets.
fire away.
No, go ahead.
No,
What did
I
you
just basically gave the recap. So fire away.
Oh, okay. See, this part makes me think of Mad Max. But anyway, so first off, I loved it because I thought with like I think it was just 25 minutes, it was enough content to, fill the void until November 19th. And it was also just enough backstory and more intro to what this world is like, how it's going to play out, that kind of thing. For me, I was like, I immediately went to the character piece because you know how I am about building a character and how much time it takes and a lot of the customization. Like, I'd like to see that next, but like the three, I guess, representations or the three kind of classes that you could pick from were really cool. I wish they had more, but I think three is a good start. You have your Corpy, which I think I would be totally awesome at. Someone who's like grew up in the corporate world. They kind of know how things work up at that like level. And then you have the street kid growing up on the streets. You know the ins and outs of the neighborhood, the multiple gangs. Then the nomad, like you said, which was, to me it felt like Mad Max Thunder Road, but I get the vibes that you're talking about. Um, I'll stop there just to get your thoughts, but I immediately was drawn to the Corpy, even though the Nomad was very interesting to me. It'll be interesting to see how their kind of spectrum goes in terms of like, okay, if I think about Destiny, you have the hunters, you have the titans, and you have the warlocks, and like one of them kind of represents sort of the mages, if you will, of RPG games. The other is like the powerhouse titan, and then the other is kind of like almost like the thief or like that sort of middle range between the two. Not a magic user, but quick, quick moving. So yeah, what were your thoughts, Fan? I can't wait to hear.
Specifically for the character origins, it was really neat how they showed it in terms of the presentation. I like the idea that it does affect the way you experience it. So
Yes,
the
I
one
forgot about that. I like that. Go ahead.
so for me, the one thing that reminded me was in Mass Effect, you had three origins or personalities, and what I thought was a huge miss on a game that I love so much, a series, is that it felt like all of the experiences were the same, with Mass Effect, there was like one or two instances where if you were from a military family, you actually get to meet your mom, or if you are a sole survivor of a colony, you met another survivor of a Batarian attack. But it was like this one off thing where they're trying to show in the one clip where if you're a corpo, you actually have the ability to kind of suss and read out the corporate woman who hires you
Mm-hmm.
because you could tell how they speak.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Or
they
the
were trying.
kid, like you knew like the different gangs or the drug
Yeah,
runners. So like on these side missions, you actually have like some skill sets that help you or make you better suited for some missions and some others maybe not so much.
yeah, and I hope it's actually legitimate as opposed to one or two little instances because that was the big miss with Mass Effect. They tried to hype up your origin, but they never really executed it. And so, yeah, I think if I trust CD Projekt Red, they made the Witcher games, so I'm pretty sure they could pull it off. But they just got to execute and deliver. Let's see. Do you see that in the background right there? It's like freaking it's like Fast and Furious street race right there.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, um, yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm excited, but this is one of those things that I've got to see them execute. Otherwise, it's going to be a false promise.
Yeah, and I think 3 is a safe way to start in terms of the different classes. Like I said, in a traditional RPG, you might have 4 or 5. And during the whole like presentation, they kept alluding to the fact that they tried to make this an RPG, even though it's like a first person sort of like game. They really tried to make it like an RPG, which I appreciated because it doesn't feel like an RPG on the retrospect, but you know. So the next piece, I'm gonna skip the music, but I wanted to cover the weaponry just because of the characters. The weaponry sounded really cool because there were tech weapons, power weapons, which are your traditional like guns, and then I forget what the other weapon was.
There was a power weapon, a tech weapon, a smart weapon. The smart weapon basically it auto aims and tracks and things like that. So
Okay.
for that's probably more your style. You just want to just fire and not even aim.
I almost like want to just be old school with the weaponry and just be like, oh, regular gun, AK, whatever. But because if you have all these cybernetic implants, do you really need a weapon? I don't know. Oh,
well, that's the thing. You can do it your way.
That's pretty badass right there. So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see the different weaponry, and then like I have to wonder you're more attuned to. I don't know.
It's more for your like. It depends on the style you want to play, which is actually kind of neat. Like, let's say I want to be a silver tongued politician. I can talk my way out of a situation. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Or if you want to just melee it or go get all spy like and hiding all your weapons in your arms, that's actually an option as well. So I think that there's also promise in that. I mean, guns are guns at the end of the day, especially.
No. I mean, like I said, I thought it was cool in the way they did.
Optionality.
Then lastly, the music. I thought that was interesting how they really paid some attention to this. I mean, you forget that Johnny Silverhand is the lead singer of a band. So music is actually really part of this game. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was cool that they got this real life band. I thought it was interesting how the lead singer was like, it was tough for him because they actually wanted him to sing it a certain way because I mean, I think they're from Sweden or somewhere like that, and basically they're from Europe, and he has an accent, but like the way he was enunciating the words, he had to actually say it a certain way because again, he's supposed to be singing as Johnny Silverhand. So I wish they got Keanu to sing because I do think that would have been cool. He has a band.
That was actually weird. You're right. Why didn't they? I know it's going to cost them
It's
billions.
probably going to cost a lot more money. And, I was like, doesn't this guy have a band? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so whatever. I mean,
Because
we
his
got many
dialogue,
hours of him already.
yeah, they got like 40 to 60 hours of dialogue with Keanu Reeves. Like
Yeah,
he
so
basically talks more or as much as your character.
yeah, so it's funny that yeah, like I said, I can't wait to hear it. Like I hope they put some EDM in it because that would be pretty cool too. But yeah, I mean, he is the lead singer of like a rock band, so it's fitting. He fits the like the look of it for this era. But like I said, it would have been cool to have him do one song. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna be honest. This was kind of the weakest part of it. I know they wanted to give some props. I know they wanted to talk about how creative and things like that. I don't know. I don't know if this was just sort of a way to promote this band, but it's interesting because they said we had to make the song as if we were somebody else, and I have to give the band credit, but at the same time, I was like, okay, unless it was Keanu Reeves' band,
That's what
maybe
I
you're right.
mean.
Well,
Like
this is Bill and Ted.
I thought he had a band, or maybe I'm getting him mixed up with someone else. But I could have sworn he had a band.
Maybe you're thinking of Bill and Ted.
Yeah, like maybe, yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking. Like, but like, I just thought, like, yeah, no, he does have a band. It's called Dog Star. So yeah. Anyway, it would have been nice if they just paid a little bit more, but
Oh
maybe
yeah, a
we
little
didn't
bit
have
more. What's that, a
time.
billion?
I know. But no, I mean, I agree with you. It was weak, but it wasn't to an extent because let's put it this way. For Cyberpunk, they could have rehashed a lot of music that exists today. Or they could have hired like Daft Punk.
No, not Daft Punk.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I was thinking of Tron.
Speaking of Tron, and not to get off topic, we're going to talk. I guess we'll talk about that in our normal Sunday entertainment focused podcast. But that is starting to become confirmed.
Oh, nice. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, like I said, like they could have gone either or spectrum, but the fact is, they care about. I think what this was supposed to show us, and I don't really think it was a plug for the band. I really think it was just supposed to show us they really thought about the music that linked to this character who is a musician slash whatever on the side. So
Yeah, but it's not a knock on it. It's just it was kind of the weakest part.
yeah. I mean, I'm still waiting for them to show me the building of a character. Like, have they got? I don't recall them like taking me to the screen and showing me all the multiple options of things. I'm just reading about that stuff. Like, yeah, like my hair, like I want it to be like shaved on the left and long on the right. Like how many different strands of color can I have? Like, I want that kind of stuff, people. But I think they're waiting. I think they're just trying to keep us interested till November. We keep thinking like November's right around the corner, which it could be, but it's not really. So,
well, I think the big thing is when will you see Keanu?
yeah,
That's probably gonna be the last one.
exactly.
They're gonna hold that back. Keanu's gonna be there for 5 minutes max. He's gonna like, dude.
I know, right? Because it'll be like, why did you get involved in this project? Tell us.
I would love to know that.
No, I would too, because I don't know. He doesn't strike me as a gamer.
He's not doing the Henry Cavill PC build.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he really doesn't strike me as that type of person. So, like, I really am curious. How did he get involved, and why did he get involved? Like, because he seems like the type of person that really cares about some of his projects, like more recently, like maybe in the past when you're still young and you're trying to get your name out. Like even Bill and Ted, that was a risk for him, but look at it's made how many movies? If you think about it in retrospect, you're like, Bill and Ted, like what? Like, but
Bill
they
and
made
Ted's Yeah, coming out now after all
They
these
made
years.
like, yeah, how many movies of it? Like, that's why I'm like, but in a weird way, that could have been a risk. That's like a risk right there, but such a cult following.
Well,
So
Bill and Ted too could have typecasted. Like I love Mark Hamill as an
yeah,
actor, but he's typecasted.
yeah,
I should have
exactly.
probably typecasted him, but I think the Matrix really broke that and it broke that. And then also your other sleeper hit, the lake,
Oh my God, the Lake House. I
the
love
lake house. Yeah, that's it.
Keanu Reeves. No, he's also started like random romance comedies too. Like, I didn't realize he's in like Something's Gotta Give. Like I said, like he's like random. Like, so like I said, but I watched his interview on SDCC online about Constantine, and he was talking about what really drew him to the project, like the things that he was concerned about, because like he really, like he said, first off, he's like, I was wondering how I was going to play him and make his character my own, because everyone knew him as this way. He was blonde, he was blah blah blah. Like, so his Constantine was like his own take on it. So like I said, I'm very curious why he got involved in this one, because I don't know many like actors like him get involved in video games.
Especially after the success of Matrix
That's
and
what I'm saying.
John
Like when
Wick.
you reach like, again, he's a strange one because, and it's not offensive. He is, because he wants his privacy, which I can appreciate. Um and he tries to stay out of the limelight, but he's just a genuine like nice guy, it seems like. And you know, like I said, it's very like, yeah, you think of Keanu Reeves and you're like the Matrix, like those big blockbuster John Wick, and then you're like, okay, I guess when you think about Wick, it makes sense, but not many people get involved in video. Like, if anything, they voice characters, but like to actually have the likeness of him, like in this game, is quite interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of again side topic. It's kind of like a Hugh Jackman respect for the Wolverine role.
Right? But you don't see like Hugh Jackman going and playing. It's like, it's okay. I'm going on a real big tangent here. It's like doing the Marvel's Avengers, but with the real MCU people. So like having Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow in the Marvel's Avengers game, and having Robert Downey Jr. as,
Oh, yeah. I think that's
and
it's
you
tough.
know, and Thor, and like Chris Evans as, like, their likenesses as, and their voices as the people.
Trying to wrap that thought up, and I think we should have touched on that. Maybe we'll touch on Marvel's Avengers given the recent news at a later date. I'm surprised Disney did not enforce a contract to say I'm going to have you use your likeness, or
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like it's Disney. They probably had an ironclad contract to like lock them to do it. That would have made the how do I say this the initial reception of that game better. But you're right. They kind of went with this. It doesn't look like them at all.
exactly. So it's like, and I agree with you. Like, Disney poo pooed that. They should have enforced a contract.
Well, I don't know what the contract is, but I'm surprised
Or
they
they
didn't
should
want to make money
enforce
on it.
something where they could use their likenesses in a video game of,
Yeah,
the Avengers.
because I think you could have got away with the likeness without the voices.
Yes.
I think, or been closer to the likeness. Um, yeah. Well, we'll leave it at there. But overall, Night City Wire. I mean, my impression was good. Nice little quick 25-30 minute show on the three things I wanted to talk about. I'm more excited. Lumpia, your final
Yeah.
thoughts?
Oh, very excited. Still excited. I'm there.
I thought you were disappointed that Keanu's not there though.
No, he was right there. You missed him. They showed him. Well, he's not there,
I
but
would
he
say real
literally,
Keanu.
No, he's gonna eventually. They have to. There has to be something in their contract if they were smart.
Yeah. Well, that'll be the last episode, I bet. Yeah. So anyway, if you like our content, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Also, feel free to reach out to us at our handle at Justice Sith. Uh, and also, this will be on podcasts like Spotify for those who want to just get the audio version. So, till then, see you on the Sith side.
Bye.
Bye.